You go first.
Sebastian, I'm actually a consultant for Lavasalt Consulting. I'm also a teacher at the Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Institute in Melbourne as well.
Hi guys, I'm Anuj. I'm the owner and the head chef at Bar Mercado and an ex-alumni of LCB.
So obviously Anuj was in my class. I taught him. I was also part of the industry assessor, where I actually got it for the first time assess Anuj at Rockpool. It was a fantastic experience for me to see his growth and his attitude, and it really drew me towards in Search for level, where we had a class degustation event at school where the entire patisserie class had to run a degustation event, and I was the chef managing that as a teacher, and I could straight away see his leadership skills, his passion, his attitude, and his keenness to improve. And so he said, Sebastian, chef, I want to run the actual entire event. And that really kind of put me in a good state with Anuj, saying this guy is a go-getter.
Thank you so much, Chef. I think, that my first interaction with Chef was at LCB, of course, and he was the industry placement manager at that time, and he assessed us during our internship. He also gave us the platform of, that knowledge, the understanding, the learning, and also the words that he put in our minds before going to the industry placement was something that, really just made me feel very connected about the passion and the sheer knowledge about food and the hospitality that we share. And I think from that point onwards, whatever projects we did together, I think I helped out a little bit with some of the Lavasalt projects here and there. And also putting in the faith during the times of COVID. He helped me out getting a job in Dramana at one of the very nice pub/restaurants over there. And I think that degustation experience was one of the best experiences in my life, because that was something where we actually had a first customer kind of an experience, where LCB invites like neighborhood crowd to come join us for that 4 or 5 course meal, and that was really amazing experience of overall cooking, not just patisserie but outside something of our own comfort zone as well, and making it such a success was something really boosting the motivation and whatnot. And after that, yes, when I had this idea of bringing Bar Mercado to life, I had no other person, and I knew in my mind straight up whom I had to go to. So I think the degustation was the first part for sure. Then I think during the COVID time, we actually had this idea of having a cloud kitchen where we could do possibly some takeaway food, because there was hardly any jobs in the market and we still wanted to be connected to what we do. And I think we started working on that project as well at the time, where we could do something for the community and different organizations, maybe some NGOs or something, that we can just do some basic takeaway foods like some lasagnas or tiramisu or something like that. And we did actually initiate on that as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't really go towards a long road on that. We didn't really find the right fit of kitchen and stuff for us at the time. But then during that time, throughout my career, we have been interacted at a lot of places. Entrecote was one of them as well, where then I was graduated and I was the head pastry chef, and chef used to come to assist a lot of students over there. So we used to be in touch throughout this culinary experience of me being in Melbourne for 8 years now. And then I think that was the moment when you consistent with one person throughout your journey, you just kind of know, you just kind of feel that, okay, this is going to connect, this is going to make the best of it. Because I felt that our ideas kind of matched, and the space that we gave each other to, especially from him to me, to have that space to take decisions, take more charge, make mistakes, and I know that there is somebody to look after me as well and look after the project. So that was the moment when I knew that this is something that I need, and this is the right person who could definitely guide me through the process.
A fun fact, right? I have assessed over 1,000 plus students in my time at Le Cordon Bleu in industry. Over the years, I don't post a lot of stuff on my Instagram, but I know there are many of these ex-students of mine will always call me and they'll actually ask me questions. One of the things that actually Anuj did really well is, over his journey, at every step of the way, he would have that phone call saying, Sebastian, I just want to ask you something. I just want to query something with you. I want to clarify something with you. I think that trust that he had in me, and I would never mince my words. I would be very, very clear about what I wanted to say, about his progression, Sometimes he may not have liked it, but I would just say the truth. And I think that connection, that authenticity that we had, that trust we had, may have gravitated towards, hey, I really want to kind of connect with you about this project, perhaps.
I think for me, it's going to be precision, pace, and passion. That's how we run the kitchen in Bar Mercado.
For me, it's just honesty, clarity, and humbleness.
I think there's a lot to learn for sure from Chef Sebastian, just other than his experience as well, just the type of person he is, just the type of guest services he aims to provide. I've seen him around, like whenever he's at Mercado, whenever he sees anyone walk in, the way he greets him or her. Depending upon like these things, little things, and of course planning this whole project alongside with him with Lavasalt Consulting, this has been truly an outstanding experience, because this is something we just learn theoretically at Le Cordon Bleu when we do a advanced diploma and we have to actually design a business plan. But to actually do those all things in live is on another level. And having somebody as experienced as Chef Sebastian, who's got that passion, the drive, and that willingness to go out of the comfort zone and taking that extra step. Because we remember the days when Mercado wasn't even started, we were just in process of getting it started. We were out there pretty much whole day, like day, night, out there collecting crockeries, cutleries, lightings or tables or chairs or finalizing it. And I can't even think of one moment when Chef Sebastian wasn't there with me.
Oh, I think he said most of it, so I don't want to add too much, but to say this much. I think from my perspective, when I look into a business, I'm looking for it primarily about the profitability. I want to really look at the things that we don't like to look at. All the recipes here are actually being costed. They have been clearly put into a proper document so the staff can actually follow. So my role was just to kind of be that additional benefit, almost like the Stepney tire that is built into a car to be able to protect Anuj when something does go wrong. And just give him the tools that he already has. He already has the knowledge. He's been taught well, not just by me, but all the incredible teachers at the school at Le Cordon Bleu. And my role was just to kind of be there, just to give him those guardrails. But sometimes I've learned that it's okay for that person to make an error or a mistake. They'll learn from it. They understand it. And I think Anuj is the kind of guy who says, you know what? I've made a mistake. I've learned from it. I'm going to get better at it. So that kind of relationship is what really kind of we built on that clarity, and here we are today. I think in my perspective, I think the biggest thing I've seen Anuj in the last 6-7 months is his incredible knowledge to gain new things. Like Anuj has moved from an executive pastry chef. Think about this very carefully. He's moved from a back of house staff member who runs a pastry team to learning how to operate POS, to learn how to operate the till, to learn how to go and find produce on the market, to learn how to figure out the management of their table software, to learn how to choose the staffing requirements, to learn how to understand the recipe that Sebastian's created, to learn how to make a cocktail, to learn how to order a beverage. All of these things from where he's been and where he is today, I have just seen an incredible growth. That is a gift. That's a gift, and that's very rare to have. So he is thorough hospitality through and through. And that I can see from the way he greets people. He's learned the art on one of the most hardest gigs ever on earth, to be a restaurateur, to be an owner, to be a staff, to be everything in one-stop shop. To do that all by himself in the last few months. I think it is literally studied, over study, and then the practicality of it, he's literally put that into motion. That is very rare.
Okay. For me, I think the continuous support through Chef Sebastian, I think, and also the Lavasalt Consulting, people see that, okay, that this consulting is associated with this project, this project, this project. They might be looking at the cream of it, but honestly, the hard work that goes through it, the passion, the sheer knowledge, and also maintaining that, the client and the consulting relationship, and also to assess and come up with new ideas and plans with different projects, different day, different time of the year and whatnot. It's quite challenging. But of course, for Chef Sebastian at that level of professionalism, he's just handled it so well. Even the training or the knowledge that our staff, or including me, what we required he's personally come down to show us each dish as well. Like, okay, this is how it has to be prepared. This is how we go step by step. Like, it is exactly like how a teacher would teach a student in the school. That is something that you don't generally expect or get out of any consultant, I feel. But then that extra step towards that, something that you really do love shows in that work and the attitude as well. And I think that is something that, today's world really needs, because it's not just about getting paid by the hour, I feel sometimes, but it's more about taking that extra step for, are you actually doing what you love, or is it just like another project for you? So I've never seen Chef Sebastian treating any project of his as just a project, but actually because he's actually loving that project or the idea or the where the ideas are coming from with regards to the food or the drinks or the organizing of the place and whatnot. And that just makes me feel more respected towards him and the work that he does. Like, I don't see anyone who can match that level, honestly. I'm going to be very straight.
That's great. So can you talk us through the menu creation process? Were there anything that you guys disagreed on, and how do you overcome or create the menu together collaboratively?
When we built the concept for Bar Mercado, we wanted to pay homage to a very hardworking man who ran Hello Jose, and he was in there for 10 years. Now, to have that kind of innings in our hospitality world is quite a large, incredible feat. So we just wanted to give it a bit more oomph. So we said, why don't we just celebrate all of South America, and we've also got a market next door. So it made sense to be able to create a product that's market fresh, and we're not going to compromise on that. Now came the idea of a pastry chef who is trying to find his base and his foundation of moving from pastry fundamentals to a cuisine-centric product. So to give you a simple example, we tested everything. We wrote down recipes. And I think sometimes I know that it's annoying to go through the annoying part of that part where I write down a recipe and we test it and say, oh, that's not the right yield, that's not the right quality, or that's not the right taste. I think what I liked about Anuj's process was that even though maybe he didn't know a lot of that initial information that we first put together, he was willing to say, you know what, the fact that I wanted from Anuj as a client was, does it taste good or no? That was the most key thing that I wanted from him. Will it sell in our current market? And those are the two things that we looked at. Let me give you a quick example. We looked at one of our most sought out products on our menu, which is our croquetas. And when we purchased the brisket, we had to ensure that our staff is not just making the recipe based on that day's requirement. We said, that's the yield of the brisket, that's the amount we're buying, we're going to treat it with respect, and we're going to make sure the yield matches what we purchased. So there's no wastage. We can't, in this day and age where every dollar, every cent counts, that's the agreement that we had, that every recipe must be made with that same sense of efficiency and passion. Well, are there things that we disagreed on? Yeah, we absolutely disagreed on a few things. We disagreed on the type of glass, on the type of glassware, maybe on the type of machines that we wanted to buy and keep and use. I was all about the profitability, but I guess Anuj was all about, can I do this when you're not here? And what's going to look like for me when you're not here? So we had some disagreements about the efficiency questions, but I guess we really found a happy medium to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think that few disagreements were kind of the balance that we needed as well. Like, it was good to see a particular thing from two different perspectives and how we can find the middle ground. And I think how we achieved that was something that was really cool, honestly. And being pastry eccentric, of course, something with high culinary side of techniques is a bit challenging for me, especially when you're starting something from scratch and new. So, but I've got training in a bit of hot section in few of my workplaces like Maha and Rockpool, where I got the opportunity to get my skills on the hot side as well. So we designed the menu thinking that, okay, the whole staff is going to be new, including me, and the concept. So we first start off with some basic ideas with a hint of what we can handle technique-wise, and then we take things from there. that was something I think we both agreed upon initially only, and that's how we designed the menu.
And also
Then-
a kitchen as well.
Of course.
Our kitchen
Then
size.
a kitchen, the limitations with our kitchen is quite challenging, because the first question, I'm pretty sure when we saw the space only, was the space is fine, we'll work it out, we'll manage the aesthetics of the place is fine. But the first thing we saw, I think both of us being chefs were like, kitchen. We need to figure out how to work out this kitchen, because like we've literally got enough space for maybe 2 chefs standing comfortably and doing pretty much everything, and we've got like around 16 to 18 dishes on the menu at
Yep.
the moment, including the desserts that we do. So we had this, and I'm glad that we super agreed on these, that our menu has to be limited. Our menu has to be something that is providing different techniques and variations to the customers as well, so they don't feel like they're just having something that is just only fried or only baked or anything. So we've still got a mix of techniques where there's frying, there's grilling, there's baking, there's searing, and that is something that had a few conflicting ideas, but then we worked our way around it, and then in the end of the day, whatever dish we made, our staff loves it, we love it, our customers definitely love it. So
Yeah.
that's what makes us happy.
I know. I still remember like when we, I think I remember when we first started the menu, you were like so like concerned about, are you sure we just start with 6 dishes or 7 dishes?
Yes,
like
we
how are we going to
started
start
off
with
with-
that? And I
yeah.
said, let's build it. Let's tease our Melbourne market. Let's build up.
Yeah.
Let's do what we do well first. Let's get these recipes up and running. Let's sell these dishes first. Let's get our bar up and
Exactly.
running. And I think we built on that. We added more ingredients, more recipes. As the kitchen got more familiar with it,
Yeah.
we added more complexity to our dishes. And that's why I think I would give a tip to any restaurateur, depending on the venue. You could have, all your 100 dishes on the menu, or a place like this, you could build it up.
Yeah.
You can start to build, tailor-make, custom-make your recipes. And I think while initially Anuj was opposed or he wasn't sure about it, but he trusted me, which I really appreciated a lot, and then we got there.
Yeah, that's true. Because initially we had a full menu ready, but then actually chef came up with the idea, why not let's just release some of these dishes and then see how we go. Let's just create a little hype. Let's just, like as you said, tease them a little, and then start off with these little things and see how's the response. And the response was, touch wood, like it was really good. People were loving the offerings. The staff was focused on those things, so it gave them that little confidence build-up time as well. So like, oh, this is good. We are enjoying it. We are loving it. Once they were excelled in it, then we introduced the larger plates and whatnot.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What do you reckon? I think for me, it can be the Mercado signature arepas. I think it's very simple, but served with 3 different types of dips. I think that's a great example of our collaboration with the dish as well. So like coming the recipe for the breads from me, and then he designing the dips for us. I think that makes that the perfect balance, honestly, and it's quite popular at Mercado. Like I've seen people ask me for recipes, and they're like, oh my god, how you make these breads? Like, these are amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're house made and they're fresh, they're baked fresh to order, of course. So it just, elevates the experience.
Yeah, I don't have any particular liking, because as a consultant, I always ensure that I'm detached from the dishes, because I love a lot of dishes. I love a lot of flavor in the food that I come up with. But I wanted every dish to be authentic, true to its own nature. Everything that we did, we wanted to say, I want to help the guy across the road from the market to be able to put effort that the farmer has put into the tomatoes, put effort into the capsicums, put effort into that piece of steak, put effort into that piece of that herb or a parsley. Why I'm saying all this, even a simple chimichurri done well, beautiful, right? Back to the cocktail, the Mercado Sunset. When we
Yeah.
first came up with the idea, I remember Yash saying, I'll make a few tweaks, but then the salt rim, we're gonna keep that.
Yeah.
And so we kind of like had this balance of all our dishes must represent something. But I think one of the most challenging dishes that we had to do for our kitchen was our chimichurri steak, because we had to cost it. Do we get an entire strip loin and then do we portion it ourselves, or do we buy it in? And we said we want that skill to be taught to our younger generation.
Yeah.
Let them still learn how to portion a strip loin. And so we chose the hard decision of actually not buying it in, but doing it ourselves. So if you look at everything on this menu, I think one of the most challenging dishes to actually cook, in my opinion, is the steak.
Yeah.
Because we portion the steak into 300 gram slots, and then we ensure that we have no wastage. We use the remaining of the meat trimmings to use somewhere else on our menu, and we ensure that our staff understand how to use the cooking technique on wood fire. So all of these things for me is one of the hardest dishes to cook on this in this restaurant, but one of my favorites too. If I came here, I would eat that steak because I know it's been cooked with love, it's been portioned with care, and you got one of the freshest sauces to go with this chimichurri.
Yeah. Chimichurri is made fresh every day, and everything hand chopped, nothing like blended in the blender or something.
Yeah. Yeah, see, for me, Lavasalt, next year is going to be 10 years with Lavasalt Consulting. I can't believe how the time has flown. One of the things I've always told even my students is, as a business, as Lavasalt Consulting, I always believed in these three things. Value your produce, value your skill, and then value your relationships. Absolutely. I believe that these three things have become a fundamental, integral part of my life. And for me, if I'm gone tomorrow, that's the legacy that I want to see our young restaurateurs like Anuj leave on earth. Because I have seen, and believe me, there are things that looks nice on Instagram, it looks amazing, food looks great, but this guy works 7 days. He has no days off. From being a full-time chef, who at least gets 2 days off of the week, he is working 7 days. He goes to bed having to deal with the consequences of a super hard hospitality environment. And so my biggest thing I want to tell people is, please give these guys a chance. Give them an opportunity to come and taste their food because they care about it. And so my final thoughts is, we have so many micro restaurateurs in Australia, in Melbourne like this. And you may want to go to the bigger labels, the ones that are branded, bigger money, but think of the single guy. Think of the guy who's running his own business like this and respect that. And for that sake, give them a go. Give them a shot. Give them an opportunity to thrive and survive, because I know this guy pretty well to tell you, he's working his ass off for you. And he's working the double time that he's ever worked working for somebody else. And so from that, I have respect for Anuj.
Thank you so much, Chef. But I would just like to start off by saying congratulations on 10 years of Lavasalt. That's massive respect, guys. Honestly, like you will hardly see people like these who are sustaining such an amazing product, such an amazing experience, and such an amazing knowledge and passion. You don't really get it anywhere. But honestly, for me, towards the end, this past year has really taught me a lot of things, and I can't be I'm really grateful for it, because at the end of the day, this whole project for me was a learning experience. I'm always curious, I'm stubborn, I want to learn, I want to develop, and I think that is what the main reason was how Mercado came to life. And honestly, I can't just thank the people who have helped me build Bar Mercado enough. That includes, especially on top, Chef Sebastian, because he was the first person who started with me, alongside with the business plan, with the banking and everything. I still remember how we used to go out to see the venues and deal with bank and the agents and whatnot. And he was literally always there with me, step by step. And of course, to the amazing team at Bar Mercado that we have got here, they're coming in here every day, giving their 100%. Of course, there are days where we expect that we may or may not be busy, and since we are new, it's just very hard at the moment. But of course, every day we are here with the same attitude, with the same positivity that whoever walks through that door will make sure that they don't go disappointed from whatever, and we try to give our best for that. And that those comments, those reviews, even if bad, they teach us something. So I would really want to apologize to our diners as well if we have done any mistakes or anything, and we would still be hoping that you guys give us another shot, because mistakes are bound to happen. It's what we do after that, and we do definitely learn, and we are here to learn. But in that, of course, we aim to provide you with the best of what we have, and that has been always the aim. And I can't thank anyone enough, to all the diners, Ricky, a marketing head, and everyone who has been associated with Bar Mercado directly or indirectly. It wouldn't be possible without you. So even though I've reached this far, it's all because of you guys, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And please do give us that continuous support that you've been giving us throughout. It'll really mean the world to me and us, of course.
Awesome.
Thank you.